Welcome in, guys. This is episode 7 of the Short Guys podcast on Spotify and YouTube. We've got a good episode today, not as much as we have been doing. But for our main NBA talk today, we're going to do Steph vs. Magic, the greatest point guard of all time. We didn't know this was going to be a topic until last episode.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, when I said, Magic's the greatest and can't push back, so it's time to debate.
I'm ready.
It's time to debate. We'll talk about that. NFL, we're going to go through our week 1 predictions because once this episode drops, it'll be the first week. Yep. So we'll go through that and we're going to come back the week after that and go through our picks and do the same thing. We're going to keep counting this whole year and see how it goes. And lastly, for our draft, we're going to draft our starting 5 mid players of all time.
Let's just say, I don't know, I have a problem liking a lot of mid players. So
Right.
I have a huge big board in my notes. I have like 40 players.
Oh, do you really? Dude, it's kind of tough. I was trying to find like an article, like most average or mid players of all time, but I got some in mind. So, should be
I'm
fun.
ready.
All right, should be fun. So, we're going to start off with some NBA talk. Steph vs. Magic, the greatest point guard of all time. And this came from because on a podcast, Steph Curry said, well, duh, I'm the greatest point guard of all time. You're supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan texts Stephen A. allegedly.
Yeah, I don't, with Stephen A's track history as of lately, I don't really trust him.
You can't really trust him. You don't know. Allegedly, Michael Jordan texted him and said, no, Magic is no matter what. And I believe Magic is. So I'm going to get into it. Cam's going to push back, obviously, and he's going to get into why he thinks Steph is.
Yeah.
So pretty much going off of last episode, when Magic came to the Lakers in the 1980s, I mean, it changed the whole NBA landscape around. I mean, where the basketball was back in the 70s, it wasn't really highly regarded or wasn't watched as much until Magic and Larry came in. Mm-hmm. So I think Magic just changed the game as in he got more eyes to watch, and he was just flashy. And with the name Magic, I mean, nothing's better than Magic. Shout out, he's from Lansing too. But let's get into actual basketball talk now. I just believe he's an all-around better pure point guard. Yes, you can say, and I agree, Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God's ever put on this earth, and no one will ever defeat that. He's going to have all the shooting records of all time, three-pointers, percentage-wise. He's a great free throw shooter. But defensively, Magic's just a bigger dude that can guard. He was 6'9", 240-ish, I think, or 250. During that time, we've never seen anyone his size because, I mean, coming in, he should have been a power forward, but he is just so magical with the ball that he just gets guys open. The way his flashy passes and just making the Lakers back then such a dynasty that they were called Showtime because of Magic. He was a 4-time assist champion, 2-time steal champion, 5-time NBA champion, 10-time All-NBA, 3-time MVP and Finals MVP. And lastly, just got to say this, the first time as a rookie in the finals, Game 6, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes down. Hey, Magic, you want to play center? You want to jump? Sure. You know what he did as a rookie in the NBA Finals? 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals as a rookie in Game 6 and winning Finals MVP. I don't think this isn't even a hot take, but I don't think we'll ever see a rookie win Finals MVP ever again.
No, I agree with that.
So
maybe Victor.
Maybe Victor.
Right now.
I don't know, though, because the way it worked, though, is like the Lakers were a better team with Kareem. They just got lucky in the lottery at that time getting that number 1 overall pick. That would never happen nowadays where a decent team, unless it was a trade, that's a haul, but I don't think it'll ever happen again. And yeah, I just think Magic's the Magic Man. He's just the greatest of all time. Let's hear it.
All right, so you made some good points, but I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So just suddenly, somehow, because this is a huge topic in like the whole sports world right now, Gilbert Arenas said it perfectly, and I agree with him. Magic Johnson, because just like you said, got drafted into a perfect situation. Kareem and the Lakers were already, they weren't Showtime yet, but they were like pre-time. They were already a great organization. Kareem was already, you could say at that time, the best basketball player of all time. So Magic Johnson got drafted into a great organization right away, and as a rookie, he's already on a finals team. So I'll give him that he stepped up and played center at the time, which was crazy. But Steph Curry got drafted by the Warriors, which was a horrible team at the time.
Yeah.
And he, like Gilbert Arenas said, he went through the mud, he went through injuries, and he had to take a horrible organization and turn it into one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. So I think that is one reason why Steph is better. He had to go through much, and which also why I think makes Jordan better than LeBron. He had to go through more.
You could say that. You could say
Yeah,
that.
that was pushing it, but yeah, but looking at Steph versus Magic, just the way they started their career,
Mm-hmm.
Steph had to go through more, leading up to him actually finally winning a ring. And then if you look at the stats, when you go stat wise, if you look at Magic stats, they look better right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you could argue Steph should have won MVP, Finals MVP in 2015.
Right.
As Iggy was the LeBron stopper, but he stopped him to 38 points. I think I could have maybe done a little bit. And then if you look at the year of KD, you could have gave it to either one. Honestly, if you look at their
True.
stats, they're basically identical.
Right.
And then when he actually was on the team just himself against Boston, he won it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk about how Magic is the better defensive player. Obviously, he's bigger and longer.
Mhm.
But right now, if I'm looking at the all-time stats, Magic Johnson's steals for his career are only 1.9, while Steph's are 1.6.
Okay. So,
So-
close.
Yeah, it's close, and people say Steph is not that good a defender. Well, yeah, because he can't guard all 5 positions like Magic.
Right.
Which I'll give Magic to that. And yeah, Magic is the better passer, but I would say people overlook Steph on his playmaking ability. Because I feel like the best part of his game, which Magic can never do, is he is always moving. And if you watch the Warriors offense, because he's always moving, it makes it so much harder on the opposing defense. But just him moving can open up space for Clay
Mhm.
or Draymond to do a fake handoff and go in.
Right.
Like who was it? I think it's Iron Shumpert said it's fucking hell guarding Steph.
Yeah, he said Matthew Dellavedova almost died in the
Which
2015
he did.
playoffs.
He
He
fucking
was
did
running
die.
all around. Yeah.
And then, because you talk about how Magic changed the game, I think he saved the game.
I would agree. So if I'll just take that back. If I said he changed the game, I take that back because he didn't. He did save the game. So I'll agree with you on that.
So, yeah.
I said the wrong word, but you're right.
Yeah, but I do agree with that. Magic completely saved the game,
Yep.
but Steph Curry completely changed the game.
That's also true. That's true.
And if you look at it, I don't know if you agree, who would you draft as your starting point guard of all time? Would it be Magic or Steph?
Well, I guess what are you trying to do? Because realistically, if you build your team around already made shooters, you don't need shooting. I'd take Magic. But if you're starting off like when we did our
Yeah.
all-time draft, you picked Steph Curry,
Yeah.
which I can't push back on, dude. He's the greatest shooter of all time. He literally comes past half court, even on half court. He can make any shot he wants.
Yeah.
So I think depends on how you're building the team, how it's laid out. But for me, if I had to build, I would probably pick Steph. But again, if I have shooters, if I have KD, Larry Bird, Ray Allen, if I had those as my shooters, I want Magic.
And then you talked about how you've never seen anyone like him play that size, which is true. He was ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said a little bit in the last episode, we could list LeBron as point guard.
Right.
And LeBron averaged just as many
Mhm.
assists. So I'm not saying assists aren't important,
Right.
but I feel like it's the way you play. And Steph, he only averages total 6.5 compared to Magic's 11.2. But that
Mhm.
just shows how much of a different point guard they are.
Mm-hmm.
So like personally for me, I'd rather have a more shooting point guard.
Mhm.
The Steph obviously can still get 6 assists. If any point guard is averaging 6 assists,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, and then just another example, like Chris Paul is more like Magic, maybe not size, but the way he plays.
Right.
He's more facilitating.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But just for my personal level, I want a point guard that can do both. And I feel like if you watch it, if he's having an off shooting night, he can average around 8 to 9 easily.
Right.
But that's just the way, like you said, how his team's built. He doesn't need to average 11 assists.
Right.
But Magic at the time, he wasn't needed to score because you had James Worthy, you had Kareem, and then everyone else. But at the end of the day, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. And I can't say that Magic was the best passer of all time because I feel like Steve Nash is up there.
True. I mean, yeah, you can probably say passing wise. I just think, I mean, you got good points. Just I think the biggest thing is we need to realize it was two different games at the time as well. I mean, they didn't shoot at threes as much. That's why obviously Steph Curry's 3-point is going to be better, and how many he's hit if you just base it off that. But
Yeah.
back in the day, dude, it's give it to the big and go. And when you have the greatest big of all time in Kareem, arguably, I mean, I don't know who wants to argue with that, but you probably want to say something.
No, I agree with you.
Okay, all right, but yeah,
I agree with that one.
if you have him in there, you just dump it down to him most of the time. But I just think the size and during the time that they played, I mean, it was a dynasty, dude. He was magic. He was the magic man. And Steph came in, he changed the game to where now it's a 3-point league. It doesn't matter if you're a 4 or 5. If you can't shoot the 3, you're not playing nowadays.
100%.
Tristan Thompson 6 years ago was playing, but now he can't even get on the court because he can't shoot the ball. You know what I mean? So it's a different game. Steph changed the game for sure. I mean, if you want to base off him changing the game as more greater, I mean, you can have that argument. But I just think all around, if you want a point guard, and honestly, it comes down to this too, dude. Like you said, you personally want someone that's a shooter. I
Yeah.
personally want someone that's a point guard. And I just think a pure point guard Magic is better than Steph Curry.
I gotta disagree.
Okay.
I think Steph, like, he just changed the way point guards play. Obviously, this is a better way to put it. The way Magic plays can work if you have other stars around.
Right.
I feel like if Kareem wasn't there, Magic wouldn't be able to lead a team as well as Steph. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I mean, we just never seen it though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Steph did create the culture of the Warriors when he first came in and had to go through those trials and tribulations. Magic never had to do that. He followed in the footsteps of Cap.
Yeah.
But then after 3 or 4 seasons, then he started taking over and Kareem started falling off a little bit. I think he still won Finals MVP like later in his life. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just two different things, man. It's going to be another one of those what ifs. What if Magic didn't get drafted?
It's
like
the
this?
same way we talked about how Tim Duncan got drafted into the Spurs organization.
Right.
We never had to see him. I mean, he was led, but
Mhm.
he was built around. We never had to see him go through everything like Dirk did, or even Kevin Garnett.
Right, exactly. So obviously, getting drafted is the name of the game. No matter where you get drafted to, it matters, and it's huge, 100%. But I'm just looking at what is this? Landofbasketball.com. It's kind of got head-to-head career comparisons.
Yeah, that one.
Also, we forget too, fucking Magic couldn't keep it in, man. He got HIV. He didn't play for 3 or 4 years.
So this is the crazy thing. We're talking about Magic versus Steph all time.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, he's already played more than Magic Johnson his whole career, and Steph isn't even close to retiring.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy
Steph
too.
still has more to prove, like resume-wise.
Right.
He'd still catch up to Magic.
Right. So right now it says on this Land of Basketball that total games Magic has 906, Steph has 882, which I think Steph's obviously had his knee tore up and then he broke his hand a couple years ago. So I mean, injuries plays a factor.
His
But
ankles.
but past this next season, dude, Steph's Curry gonna blow him out of the water. Like you said, the way Steph can play, he can play for another 4, 5, 6 years at an elite level, dude.
Yeah, him and LeBron, they're obviously two different bodies, but
Uh-huh.
LeBron's adjusted his game, and Steph will always be able to shoot.
Exactly, and he changed the game. You know, what if Steph Curry never came to the NBA? What would we be looking at right now? You know what I mean? He changed the game, and he was the first unanimous MVP. Didn't even bring that up. He has the greatest regular season team of all time.
And speaking on that, that's what I'm saying. He led that team. He was the main guy.
He was the main guy. And you couldn't stop him. And obviously his handles are better than Magic because just the highlights of Steph Curry, man, is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
1-on-1, I'm taking Steph because
I don't know. I mean,
all right. If Steph has ball first, he's winning.
I guess, but obviously we weren't there to see how good of a defender Magic was. But how good was he? How could he? I don't know, dude. I didn't see him play. We need to get an old head on here and tell us.
I only see highlights of him running down the floor. You know,
right? We don't see any of the defense. Like, how good actually was he on defense? Anyone that's listening to this or will clip this, let us know actually how good he was on defense.
Let me call it Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. How good was he on defense? Because you think about it, here's the case: if Steph Curry gets the ball first, he's going to be shooting, obviously.
Yeah.
But was Magic when he played really lengthy? Did he guard pretty
He could
heavy?
post up,
You know what I
too.
mean? And he could post up on Steph, and Steph has no chance.
Yeah,
I mean, with the
true.
long arms, he just puts his
Yeah.
big butt into him and just backs up and does a little
depends.
flip shot.
Yeah, it depends on the whole format. of
It does.
1-on-1.
But dude, it's a conversation that here's another thing too. Like same thing with LeBron and MJ. The legacy's still not done yet. Obviously, I think the Warriors are probably going to take a step back this year. They didn't really do too much.
I mean, we'll see how the Chris Paul situation works.
That's true.
If he comes off the bench, which I don't know, it's hard to tell if he will. I think they should,
Right.
because if they have Chris Paul at shooting guard, that's just such a small backcourt. He
Yeah.
obviously should come off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Play kind of like a Draymond Green role, which he did last year when Jordan Poole would start
Right.
instead.
Right.
Because Chris Paul he's one of the smartest players with the high IQ
For sure.
out there. So,
Right.
but yeah, like you said, I think they'll take a step back because it's still Chris Paul, 37 years old.
Right. I just think low key eventually, dude, they're gonna have to. As much as we love Steph and Clay, I think you need to get eventually. I don't know if this is the year after that or whatever, but you need to build a team around Steph Curry if you're trying to win another championship. I just think the Big Three era capped off in 2022.
Yeah, because
You know,
Draymond,
Draymond's Draymond. He just got paid again, but I mean,
he's getting too old though. Eventually, him doing the hustle plays,
Yeah.
he's not gonna be able to actually to move as quick.
right.
Like well, honestly, if he wants to stay at the Warriors, he's gonna have to become like a Udazan Haslam.
Yeah, just and not
Being
even
a
come-
coach off the bench,
Right.
and keeping that energy, which
Right.
he would be great at.
Right.
And then one thing though, which is a huge factor, the Warriors do have some young guys.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying Jonathan Kuminga
Uh-huh.
could be like the next franchise player,
Right.
but like you said, with the Big Three still there,
Yeah.
he's not getting his chances.
No.
Maybe this year because they still did lose Jordan Poole.
Right.
Chris Paul is not going to score that much off the bench. He'll
Right.
probably be more of a playmaker.
Hopefully, Chris Paul can unlock Jonathan Kuminga too, and they
Yeah.
still got Moses Moody too.
Yeah, see, like they had the young guys, but it's like drafting at that time. They should have probably gone to a worse team where they could play more.
Right, and they still got Wiggins. I mean, say what you want about Wiggins. I think
I like Wiggins
What-
a lot. I think he's one of the better two-way players.
in the finals, you could say he was the second best player
Easily.
The way he was playing, I mean, when he got drafted number one overall, dude, he wasn't the number one guy. But if he comes in, and he's that second or third guy on a championship team. He's great.
Yeah, during the time that actually, I think, in my opinion, Steph was number one,
Uh-huh.
and then Andrew Wiggins was more consistent as a two.
No, definitely.
It was basically like, in my eyes, Steph won, and then Andrew Wiggins, Poole, and Clay, they'd all rotate as
Right.
the second guy. But Andrew Wiggins is locking up defensively.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you still got some young talent. I mean, I think you're getting to that time where you need to think about breaking up because realistically, if you get some good players around Steph Curry, you can still have another championship run or two because you have him.
He's-
And he just seems like he's getting better with age, dude.
He's
seemed like
aging
last.
fine line.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. It just seemed like these past couple of years he's been going nuts. I mean, we had the babyface assassin when he first came in. Now he's a full beard, grown ass
He's a
man.
grown man
Dude, he got
assassin.
old really fast if you think about it.
It kind of makes me sad.
It does make me sad. Because, like, when you said the town jerseys, I just remember going against the Raptors, dude, and he was all, like, sad because they lost. When he has a full beard and he's just, like, an old-ass man in that short period of time, you know?
Well, that was a great point with Clay Thompson. I love Clay,
Yeah.
but if he can't, he's slowly kind of slowing down.
No, 100%.
Like, he can still shoot and stuff,
Uh-huh.
but, like, he's just not shooting as high as a clip, I feel like.
No. You can tell in that finals run that they had. I mean, he'd come in and do good, but there was never no
Yeah.
Game 6 Clay we're used to
He's
seeing.
not consistent anymore.
No, he's not.
Like, he could definitely be still maybe like a 4 or 5 seed in the East or West, like be a third option.
Uh-huh.
The Warriors need a guaranteed second option.
Right.
Maybe, which is hot take, I say the Warriors trade Clay or Draymond if they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals this year.
Yeah.
They get rid of them for some young pieces.
Right. I think you could, too. I think there's obviously buyers around. I mean, you think about just...
I mean,
And-
I love my Lakers. If
Yeah.
the Lakers had a chance to get Clay,
Uh-huh.
I would love to have him.
Right.
Because I know LeBron and AD will still be there.
Right.
And I would trade some young pieces just to get Clay to shoot in the corner.
Exactly. Yeah, because the
Like,
Lakers,
there's-
that'd be something that they needed, you know?
They're still what's the word I'm looking for? They're still hot. Like they're still on fire. That they're attractable.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting how these next couple of years go. Again, like you said, we'll see how the Chris Paul thing. I think he comes off the bench, but he's that sixth man. I think he'll work out pretty good. But we'll have to see, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and we both stated our case.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think you're going to change the way you feel. I'm not going to change the way I feel. So we get to debate this all day long, but it's not going to change just because you want to build your team the way that you want to, and I would build the team that I want to.
It kind of goes with one more thing.
Uh-huh.
One of the main reasons why I'm a huge believer in Lonzo Ball still is because I feel like he's still the last true traditional point guard,
Right.
kind of like Magic.
Right, no, 100%.
Because if you look at LaMelo, he's more flashy and he can score more.
Yeah,
But if I pick still, I want Zoe.
Right.
Because he can do more.
right. Oh, shout out Hudson and Shelby.
Hudson.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing?
He says Steph Curry's better.
Oh, you always says Steph Curry's brother. Is the camera still going?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Just want to make sure. Perfect. You want to take a break real quick before we get into week one?
Yeah, so next up we're doing our first NFL predictions.
And we'll see how it goes.
All right. We're back and we're gonna go over our NFL games week one. So this is what we'll start doing each week now with the NFL season coming around. And we'll go over our picks, and then by the next episode we'll go over how many we got right and how many got wrong, and then by the end of the season we will see who knows football more.
Yeah. I guess that comes down to who knows football more. The guy who played football or never stepped foot on a football court.
Yeah.
Football court. I sound like the one that didn't play football.
The guy
So,
that plays a lot of Madden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Alright, so let's go back and forth.
Okay.
So you can start with Thursday night.
All right, Thursday night, opening it. We talked about this already. Lions Chiefs. I had to wear the specialty. We got the grit shirt on, baby. You got the Texas Longhorns bandwagon ass. I'm gonna go the Detroit Lions upsetting Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, because I already said it earlier,
Yeah.
I can't flip back on it. And if they lose this week, it's fine, man. It's the first game of the season. Lions never been in position against the defending champs. Going Lions week one.
See, now I just kind of want to go against you because it's both of our teams.
Yeah.
And
You can do that because we got to go back at this and
Yeah.
see who's got a better record. We can't have all the
so
same games.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Just because they are home.
Right.
Just watching that documentary, I don't think Mahomes or Kelsey want to lose to the sorry ass Lions.
Oh, sorry,
Especially
Ashley.
at home,
Mhm.
Chiefs Kingdom.
Banner coming down.
Oh yeah, it's everything. And Thursday night, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with the fucking Chiefs on that one. Week
Alright.
one.
All right, you got the Chiefs week one. Week two, or dumbass.
Game.
Sunday night. These are 1:00 games. We're gonna go through these. We got the Bengals at home. Oh, dude, I'm
Bengals
fucked
at
up.
Browns.
Bengals at the Browns, both in since Ohio. So it's kind of like a little hope coming. But who do you have?
Because Joe Burrow is out,
Yeah.
I gotta go with the Browns and my boy on the football field, Deshaun Watson.
Okay, not off. Are you sure?
They're not off.
Okay, all right, I understand. Well, I got the Bengals. I still think, depending on how Joe Burrow's feeling or not, I still think they have a pretty stacked team around him. But it all depends on his health too, because you're right. I mean, if he isn't there, and now I'm thinking about it, it's a little scary to pick the Bengals without Joe Burrow.
Who's their backup?
I don't actually know right now. I have no idea.
I kind of.
That all depends. I don't think they have. If I don't know, that shows you that it's
It's
not.
probably not something good.
No, because I usually know most of them.
I thought it was AJ McCarron. He might have moved on.
Yeah, he was the long time, but I don't know who is now. Just gonna pull it up real
Probably
quick.
some random guy.
Trevor Simeon. He
Oh.
played for the Broncos for a
Oh,
while.
he's not bad.
He's
He
not
could-
bad.
He could get the job done.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take
against the
Trevor
Browns.
Simeon. Yeah, I mean they got Myles Garrett and corner Denzel Ward. I mean they got a pretty deep team, but I still like the Bengals. So we're going back and forth on each week.
All right, now Texans and Ravens. Who you got? Baltimore.
It's the Ravens. Texans are a young team, and with CJ Stroud coming in, I don't think it's going to be a
Yeah.
very easy game for them coming in first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I'm taking the fucking Ravens.
You got to.
See how good Odell does that game.
Right.
All right. Not week. God damn.
We're already
Game
messing up.
4 of week 1 is the Bucks with Baker at Minnesota.
I low-key like the Bucks could be pretty decent
That's what I
this
was
year.
gonna say.
They might be and make
Baker went off the
yeah
other night.
yeah they might make some noise, but not this week. Vikings have a week 1 at home.
See, I want to bet against you, but
Uh-huh.
I can't trust Baker yet.
Not
Maybe
yet. You
later
guys-
down in the season,
Right.
maybe week 7,
Right.
when the proves more. But it's at Minnesota.
We gotta see how
One
it
of
goes.
After watching quarterback show, they have a great fan base.
They do.
Such a good home crowd.
Skull.
They get shit gets me hyped.
Yeah, it does. They got a good fan base.
And I can't bet against my boy Kirk now. So
Right.
alrighty. What we got now? Panthers at the Falcons.
Panthers at the Falcons. This is a toss-up. I wouldn't really say a toss-up game. It's going to be the battle of the young quarterbacks. You have Desmond Ridder coming in for the Falcons versus number 1 overall pick Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Two unknown teams in the NFL this year.
That's true.
And week 1's always unknown. This is why I heard this before, and it's kind of good. Bad teams don't know they're bad yet. So everyone's going to go try it the first couple weeks.
True.
And I just think the first game for starting quarterbacks as a rookie, this is off my head. I don't think they do very well, so I'm just going to go with Falcons. They got a quarterback that's coming back. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, I think may possibly have a breakout year this year. I'm going with Falcons.
See, I can't trust the Falcons. I mean,
But you can trust the Panthers.
I'm going to put my faith into Bryce Young.
Okay.
He's going to be the one quarterback. He's going to do great week 1, and then he's going to choke week 2.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Panthers, actually.
All right. So another one we disagree on. So it'll be interesting. Our standings will be different. I think when the season comes along, we'll get a better gauge on these teams.
Yeah,
It's just kind of off preseason and whatever.
It's early.
The next week we have the Cardinals versus Commanders. I think the Cardinals are going to be absolute dog shit. They're going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes next year.
They're going to be horrible.
Yeah, especially who knows what Kyler's doing. I don't even know if he's healthy or
Call of
not.
Duty.
Playing Call of Duty, fucking FaZe Clan, or I don't know.
I don't even know what their terms
FaZe
are.
Clan. I'm going Commanders. I think they're going to have a decent year. Sam Howell looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'm just going with Commanders.
I can't disagree with you. And they're at home.
Right.
So I'm going with the Commanders as well.
Right.
So now we got the Jaguars at the Colts.
I think the Jaguars could possibly be in territory for that number 1 seed because their division is so bad
Horrible.
that they could go 6-0 or 5-1 in their division, and then the rest of the teams that they play, I mean, they may be the number 1 seed. But I have them losing to the Colts.
You're them losing.
I just think
rookie.
I think so. Hear me out. I just think that obviously we don't know the Jonathan Taylor news. I don't think he'll get traded. I don't think anyone's going to pay for him. But I don't know if he's going to be back either. I just think the Colts are so unknown that we may not even know what's going to come at him. Anthony Richard could run 20 times and then throw the ball 10 times, and those 10 times are perfect dots because you don't know what to expect.
That's
you know,
true.
and I think the Jaguars playing the Colts, it's always tough. I mean, they didn't lose to them last year, but it's always it's a tough matchup. And I think the Colts may come out and surprise some people week 1. They may not win 5 or 6 games, but I think they'll beat the Jaguars in week 1, especially at home.
Yeah, I already took my bet on a rookie with Bryce Young. Week 1. I'm gonna have to go with the safe bet, Trevor Lawrence.
That's fair.
I'm gonna take the Jags in this one.
I mean, that's fair. I think I went there first, but after looking at it and thinking about it, I think the Colts possibly upset. Because like I said a couple minutes ago, bad teams don't know they're bad yet.
True.
So
Very true.
that's what I say.
All right, now we got your AFC North champions. This is
Oh.
Pittsburgh Steelers versus the 49ers.
Yep.
So who you got?
I know who I got. Taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm only taking the Steelers because week 1 with Brock Purdy not playing in the preseason, I don't know how shaky he's going to be that first week. And like I said, dude, everyone getting hate or not, I think the Steelers are going to be pretty decent this year. At Pittsburgh, it's a really tough place to play there.
That's true.
I'm taking the Steelers week 1 versus 49ers. I think if they play on later in the season, 49ers will probably have a better chance of getting them because Brock Purdy will be more comfortable. They just got rid of Trey Lance, so you don't have that burden or thought on them.
True.
I like the Steelers beating them week 1.
So I'm going with the 49ers.
Okay.
I like the Steelers. I like how young they are. But I feel like whenever I bet on the Steelers, I always end up fucking...
Right.
They always screw me over.
Right. Well, because you bet on them the wrong time. This is the year to bet on them. I'm taking them.
And I'm just going to do it to piss off my dad. So
Understandable.
Steelers are losing to the 49ers week 1.
Looking at this may be a really good game, though. You think about it. One of the highlight games of the week, honestly. Because it's 49ers are obviously a dog in the NFC versus a up-and-coming team in the AFC. Could be interesting. Last Sunday night, 1 p.m. game, we got the Titans versus the Saints. Who do you pick? I'll let you choose first.
Man, I want to say the Titans, but I feel like they've been so inconsistent as of lately.
Right.
And I see the Saints actually pulling it out, and I see freaking Jamal having the game-winning touchdown, actually. His first game in New Orleans.
Game-winning touchdown.
And it's going to make all the Lions fans just wish they had him back.
Right. I mean, low-key, I think every Lions fan loved to have him. And I think we wish he would be back just because he was the heart and soul. But it is what it is, and obviously I have to disagree with you. Before I even chose that, I chose the Titans. I just think it's the same thing. Unproven first week 1. You don't know how well Derek Carr can be. It's tough playing in New Orleans, but they have a great defense. But I think it's going to be the Derrick Henry show. I mean, you can't stop that, man. I'm picking the Titans.
No, if Derrick Henry goes off, then my pick's messed up.
Right. And they don't have Alvin Kamara for the first 3 games, but like you said, they have Jamal Williams. So how well can he play? How well is he going to fit in the system? Should be another very interesting matchup.
All right, so now we're on the Sunday 4:25 p.m. slate games. And to start off those games, we got the Raiders at the Broncos.
Yep. This is a tough matchup, low key.
I'm just gonna go with the Broncos.
Okay.
I feel like, especially just because it's week 1,
Right.
there's so much hype with a new team, new coach,
Right.
that they're gonna play so the fans like have faith still,
Right.
before they start booing.
Right.
And it's at Mile High.
Exactly.
It's a tough place to play in, especially week 1. So I'm
Exactly.
gonna have to go with the Broncos.
And I agree with you there. I had the Broncos winning as well. I just think that same thing with the Raiders with the Jimmy G situation. He's been hurt, hasn't really been throwing too much. How well can he look in week 1? And you're playing Mile High. Shout out Hudson. He agrees.
He agrees.
So yep, I agree with you on that one.
All right, and then this could be an interesting game.
Could be.
Second game of the 4:25 slate. We have the Eagles at New England.
I have the Eagles just because I like the Eagles. They're all around great team. Patriots still unknown, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Eagles though.
I can't bet against the Eagles, especially just the way they ended last year.
Yeah, they're just
Jalen
on a roll.
Hurts.
Yep.
I don't care that's at New England. Eagles are gonna go in there and dominate probably.
Right.
All right, so now we got the Rams versus the Seahawks. Who you got?
It's not really a hot take, but I don't think the Rams are gonna be good at all this year.
They're gonna be shitty.
I think so. You have Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald, but as a team game, you cannot win with just 3 players. I honestly think they may be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes as well for next year.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. Seeing him in LA with them boys, I think would be really good.
He'd be able to stay in LA.
Right, that's true. But I think I'm picking the Seahawks. I think they got better this offseason. We'll see how well Geno can do coming off the comeback player of the year season he had last year.
I hope he does good.
Yeah, I think everyone roots for Geno Smith because how the way his career started and ended. Well, I guess not ended yet, but
It almost ended.
almost ended. But he's rejuvenated and back with the Seahawks. They do lose Jackson Smith and Jigba for a little bit.
Yeah.
Injured, but I think they're a young, up-and-coming team as well. Let's go Seahawks.
I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks too. I love Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp. He's on my fantasy team,
Mm-hmm.
so I hope he goes off. But like you said, I feel like they suck besides those 3 players.
Exactly. They just you can't really name their offensive line. You can't name any other defense players. Got rid of Jalen Ramsey. It's the unknown. They're a young team. I think they need a year or two. Maybe last year with Stafford. I think someone's gonna probably want them next year.
And it's at Seattle.
It's at Seattle. It's a tough game.
All right, and then we got. I feel like this is low key the game of the week.
It could be.
Dolphins versus Chargers. Who you got?
I want you to go first. You think who you go first.
All right. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game.
Yep.
But just like last year, how we saw Jalen Waddle and Tyreek go off, I'm gonna say the Dolphins come to LA and win.
Yeah, I wanted you to go first because I wanted to disagree with you, but I think the Dolphins will also win the week. I just think.
Hey, we agree.
Yeah, we agree. We have some disagreements, but
I wanted to say the Chargers, but like you said, it's still week 1. You don't know if you're good or bad or
Right.
whatever. Yeah, and the Chargers are so inconsistent.
right, and they do have a new offense too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, because they have Kellen Moore that came over from Dallas.
Oh, so yeah, they might be still working stuff out.
Exactly. So that's why I think they'll still be working stuff out. And then I just think the Dolphins possibly have a better defense. That could be a hot take-ish. I don't know because you got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa with the Chargers.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty
I
nasty.
Khalil Mack went
Yeah,
there.
Khalil Mack's over there.
Another Tua concussion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's been doing jujitsu, so we'll see if he can fall. He's got a sick tattoo sleeve now. It's supposed to help him
I
out.
saw. You see Ryan Clark call him out.
Yeah, I did see that. He's like, keep your name out my mouth.
Damn, I hope he stays healthy, but
I hope he does too, because he is good, dude. So so we both have the Dolphins, and then the last 4:25 game, Packers versus Bears. This could be an interesting matchup as well in the NFC North.
I'm gonna go with the Bears because I have no idea how Jordan Love's gonna do.
I have the Bears as well.
And I feel like I know the Bears sucked last year, but they kind of had a little momentum
Right.
again last year, especially with Justin Fields.
Right.
So I'll just go with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going the Bears. Well, I think Justin Fields is going to have a good year. I hope he does. He's on a couple of my fantasy teams as well.
Yeah.
Because he's the one risk this year. If he can, because I think he ended as like wide receiver 7 or 8 last year.
Yeah.
Or not wide receiver, quarterback.
Yeah.
But I like him running and passing. I like
any quarterback that can run and pass.
Right, exactly.
All right, now Sunday night. It's actually a good game.
It is.
Divisional game. We got the Cowboys at the Giants. Who you got?
Give me the G-men.
The G-men.
I want the Giants.
Okay.
I think Daniel Jones. Hot take. I think Daniel Jones is gonna have I guess not really a hot take, but Daniel Jones is gonna have a top 10 quarterback finish this year. I like the way he's going with adding Darren Waller. I think that's a perfect safety blanket for him. Saquon got a new contract. I mean, it's only 1 year. I think like $12 million, but Daniel Jones in the offseason putting that work, and I think he's gonna have a great year this year. I'm taking them over the Cowboys.
Do you think that, for a hot take, if you think so, do you think he could, Daniel Jones, be All-Pro possibly, as like the third quarterback on the NFC?
It's possible, dude. You think about it, because realistically, the only good quarterback over there right now is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And then you could put Jared Goff in that conversation. We don't know about Derek Carr, Stafford,
Cousins. They're all
Cousins.
you don't know how they're gonna do.
Exactly. Honestly, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say yes. He'll have an all-pro kind of caliber season this year. I think because he gives you that running ability too. He's a sneaky good runner.
Very underrated.
He's very underrated, and I think people on the outside hate him. But another year with Brian Daboll, his turnovers went down a shit ton last year. That was his biggest concern.
Yeah.
Adding Darren Waller, I think, let's take it. He's going to have an all-pro season, and they're going to, I don't know if it's upset, but beat the Cowboys week 1.
I mean, I feel like it's always an upset against the Cowboys.
That's true.
But I'm going to go with the Cowboys, actually.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping Dak goes off for 2 reasons. One, he's on my fantasy team. And I'm playing you week 1.
Oh, that's true.
So I hope he goes off.
Uh-huh.
And then 2, I think, just because, like we said, Trey Lance is there now, I feel like he will take the pressure and use it on the field and hopefully go off.
Right. No, for sure. And they added Stephon Gilmore to defense, and they already have Mike. They have a good defense, so.
So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys that one.
Okay. Then round out week 1, Monday night, which also could possibly be the game of the week. Bills versus Jets. Who do you pick?
This is a tough one.
These is your boys you talked about last week or a couple episodes ago. That Jets are your team. Are they week 1? That's the question.
I'm looking at that Revis jersey,
Yo.
and it's just so iffy because you don't know how the Bills are going to perform.
Right.
But it's at New York. So I'm going to see. Let's go. Packers lose, and then Aaron Rodgers and then go off. I'm taking the Jets Monday night.
All right, taking the Jets.
Huge game for game 1.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll see how they go the rest of the season. So yeah, I'm picking Jets
Okay.
Monday night.
Monday night football, the Jets beating the Bills. I have to disagree with you. I think the Bills are going to come and win. I just think it's still the unknown with the Jets. I mean, they have all this offseason hype, so I see where you're coming from. Like, yeah, they could come and look fucking great.
Just for one game.
Exactly. But I think the Bills are a really good beginning of the year season team.
Exactly.
And I think Josh Allen's, I mean, who knows, though? I'm thinking about it. Jets had a really good defense.
I mean,
really good
Quinn
defense.
Williams,
Sauce Gardner.
He wants to get 5 sacks a game.
Yeah, I mean that's something. I think the Bills' offensive line is still unknown.
And we still don't know. They only have Diggs. We'll see how
Right.
Davis does.
Right. I still like the Bills week 1 just because of Josh Allen.
It'll be a great game.
It will be a great game. That's a perfect game to end the first week. So just go through the picks. So you can go through your picks
All right.
and
you can go through yours.
Yeah.
So I got Lions versus Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. Bengals versus Browns. I'm taking the Browns. Texans versus Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. Bucks versus Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings. Panthers Falcons. Panthers. Cardinals Commanders. I'm taking the Commanders. Jags Colts. I'm taking the Jags. 49ers Steelers. 49ers. Titans Saints. Saints. Raiders Broncos. Taking the Broncos. Eagles Patriots. I'm taking the Eagles. Rams Seahawks. Taking the Seahawks. Dolphins Chargers. Dolphins. Packers Bears. Taking the Bears. Cowboys versus the Giants. I'm taking the Boys. And Bills versus Jets. I'm taking Gotham.
Taking Gotham. Mine, just to go over it again, I'm just going to go down. Lions, Bengals, Ravens, Vikings, Falcons, Commanders, Colts, Steelers, Broncos. Titans, Eagles, Seahawks, Dolphins, Bears, Giants, Bills.
All right, and then next, well, hopefully whenever these games happen, we record the next episode, we'll go over how we did, and then we'll keep a little record on our little podcast notes, and we'll see how well we did.
We'll see how well we did, and we'll go back. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be 100%.
What's your goal? I want to be at least over 500.
That's what I would say. I would say at least over 500. I just think because the NFL is so unknown, you can have an injury that's catastrophic in a game that could end everything. So if I'm over 500 the rest of the year,
That'd be crazy.
that'd be crazy, and I'm fine with that.
All right, now you know what time of the podcast it is. Our favorite thing of the week.
Yup.
We are drafting our starting 5 NBA players that are mid. So what we mean by mid is obviously NBA players are amazing, so we're not taking that away from them. But we're gonna do your favorite, like on your team, if you're the Pistons, like your favorite role player, your favorite guy to come off the bench, and then your favorite guy that's never been an All-Star. So a lot of these are basically fan favorites
Yep.
for any team.
Mm-hmm.
So we will flip a coin. I'll flip one real quick to see who gets to round it off. And obviously, you know the rules. We are going snake draft.
Yep.
All right, heads or tails?
I'm gonna go tails.
Motherfucker, tails never fails.
Tails never fails.
All right.
Oh, so I didn't do as much research as Cam, so I'm kind of going off the dome. But I have this perfect #1 overall pick. Hold on, let me make sure he wasn't an All-Star first, because I'm not sure.
I know. I had all these ideas, and I was like, I don't think he's an All-Star. And then I look, he got the freaking reserve. I was like,
No,
oh my
of
God.
course.
Was it Mike Conley?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's something else that he's an NBA champion.
Andrew Wiggins?
Nope, not quite.
I looked them both up real quick. They were on All-Star at one time.
Right. No, he was not an All-Star. But this dude, he's more recent, and I think when you were watching the finals, Warriors versus Cavs, this dude was a straight bucket in the paint.
I forgot about all these guys.
Give me Sean Livingston at my small
that
forward.
mid-range. Hold on.
That mid-range hand way out here. Give me the Sean Livingston, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he missed the mid-range pulley for like 5 years straight.
No, I did not see him miss a single one.
I totally. Now thinking about that, I might have to add it because I could throw in J.R. Smith or.
True. That's what I was
Or
thinking.
Shumpert.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking kind of more recent, but yeah, Sean Livingston's that dude. He literally did not miss a mid-range from 10 feet in for all those finals.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a great first pick. Damn. All right. I see where you're going.
You see how I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, I gotta go with my boy though, because we talked about how guys probably won't be an All-Star. I think he
Right.
won't. So I'm going with Lonzo. I'm going
Oh,
with my boy
okay.
Lonzo.
Your boy Lonzo first.
Yeah, I feel like he'll never be an All-Star. He'll just be a really good starting point guard.
Right.
Because there's like other players I've realized were never All-Stars.
Right.
And he's not that caliber yet.
Exactly.
So I'm going with my boy ZO2.
ZO2.
All right.
The ball.
You are up now.
Okay, let me check one more. Like I said, I'm coming here.
And this draft, instead of just going 5 players, we're trying to build a lineup too.
Exactly.
So then we'll go over our lineup and we'll see actually how they match up.
Exactly.
I have so many shooting guards on here.
I got this guy who's honestly actually on that same Warriors teams. And he was a 3-time champ, and he's still in the league right now. Give me JaVale McGee.
Motherfucker, he is on my big draft board. He's one of my centers I was gonna pick.
Yep, I love it, dude. I love JaVale McGee. I mean, when he plays, I liked him when he was
He
in
was
the
so
bubble.
good.
He was so good.
And I don't know if you knew this, but you know like how I don't know if you thought the same way. I feel like on those Warriors teams, he should have started over Zaza.
Yeah, I
Like he
agree.
has asthma. So he could
Oh.
only play 20 minutes. So
Really?
Steve Kerr would pick him in the most crucial minutes. Which
Right.
makes sense. He's so good.
Right, he was so good.
Alright. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm just going straight down from point guard to shooting guard.
Okay.
So hopefully you don't take any of my guys.
Right.
But I'm gonna go with the legend, my boy from Duke, our favorite guy on the pod, JJ Redick, my boy.
I wanted it. Yeah, damn, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm honestly surprised he never somehow just got one All-Star when he was at the Clippers.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude. He was
But I mean, he was with CP3 and DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin.
right.
But yeah, I'm going to JJ, bro.
All right, JJ Redick. That's a good
That's a
good
good one.
pickup. He's lights out, one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. I'm going point guard now.
Yep.
He's also an NBA champion. But
Bring on his champs.
I have to. We gotta get that championship pedigree. I mean,
I feel ya.
he was on the bench for the Raptors. He was famous in New York. He waved off Kobe Bryant. Give me Jeremy Linsanity.
Linsanity. I totally forgot about him. Oh my god.
You remember Linsanity at that time?
He was my favorite. He was all of our favorite
He
players.
was. My grandpa, who's Asian, which isn't actually my real grandpa. My grandma married him before I was before I was born. But I remember when he was going crazy. He was like, "You been watching Jeremy Lin? He's represented the Asian boys."
Damn, I
Went to Harvard, dude.
That is such a good pick, bro. He's like, obviously, for role players and like guys that go crazy for one season, you always fall in love with those guys. And for you two and me, that's one of the guys I love.
Yeah, I love
I
Jeremy Lin.
still
dude.
to this day want a New York number 17 jersey.
Right, that's
Damn.
iconic. And like I said, he waved off Kobe Bryant and hit the shot when he played for the Lakers.
Yeah, I thought Kobe was gonna kill him.
Yeah,
I was gonna kill him.
yeah,
Shit.
right.
But
Exactly.
that's a good ass pick. Damn. All right. I'm gonna draft my third one now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Damn, this is tough. I could go another shooting guard, but I need some like length. He is also an NBA champion. He was on the best team ever to come back from a 3-1 victory.
Okay.
My boy, bald-headed Richard Jefferson.
Oh, Richard Jefferson. I was gonna pick him too.
People that
That was
don't
not
know,
bad.
he was a straight baller when he was playing with the Nets.
Yeah, he was.
And he was playing with Jason Kidd, and then
Right.
even with the Cavs, he's so underrated.
No, he's very underrated. I love. And when he was with the Nets, I mean, they made the finals.
He was averaging
starting,
like
yeah.
18.
That was him and Jason Kidd's team.
He was a baller, bro. And then you remember the Christmas Day where he dunked on Clay?
Yeah, I remember that. That
That
was
put
nuts.
back.
That
Oh.
was nuts.
Yeah, give me some Richard.
All right, you want some Richard? All right, give me this power forward who's still in the league, making plays, NBA champion in 2021. Give me PJ Tucker.
Damn. I was gonna pick him, but I was like, there's all these guys I like.
No, there probably is, but I'm just trying to build out my team, and he's a defensive-minded. You know, if
That's
now
a great pick.
nowadays he probably can't shoot, but in his heydays playing with the Rockets,
Corner
he could
three.
shoot. Corner three. I think he still made the most corner threes this past year.
Yeah.
He
I
doesn't
mean,
shoot
he'd
too
only
much.
maybe had 3 points a game.
Right.
But is that corner three?
Exactly. He knows
Best
what he's
corner
doing.
3 specialist out there.
Yep, exactly.
Damn, that's a good pick. Alright.
Shout out Hudson if you hear him screaming. He's just living his best life.
Alright. I'm going with my boy, NBA champion, sometimes Kobe's sidekick, Kobe's Robin. I'm going with Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom.
Oh,
Okay.
that boy, if he was playing in today's era, he'd be one of the best stretch fours.
Right.
Just wrong era, wrong time. He could do
exactly.
everything. And he's a
Right.
lefty. I feel like all lefties are cold.
No, all lefties are cold. Even like Luke Kennard, dude, he's even cold.
He's on my draft board too.
Was he really?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I got one more doing mine. Let me just make sure he wasn't an all-star. I don't think he was, but this dude is a good role player on championship teams. I don't think he won. So he was sixth man of the year. Is that still fine if you're sixth man, it's not an all-star?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. To round out my team for shooting guard, give me Jordan Clarkson.
I was gonna draft him too. He honestly, I feel like he'll never be an all-star, but
No.
he can be an
He
all-star.
can be. I mean, he's never been like was he the guy for the Lakers when he was young on that team? Or he played with Kobe.
He played with Kobe, but I mean, him and Ingram
Right.
and D'Lo were like next up.
Right.
And then he, low key, the season he won 6th man of the year, he was the man at Utah.
Yeah, he was. That's true too. Yeah, and then he played for Cleveland, obviously, for a couple of seasons, and
Played with LeBron that
Yeah.
2018 year.
right. Yeah. So that rounds out my 5. So
All
should
right.
we do like an honorable mention too?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
a lot of honorable mentions.
All right.
We'll do 2 honorable mentions.
Okay, 2 honorable
All
mentions.
right, to round it off, I'm going throwback here for my center, who also I feel like played in the wrong era.
Right.
Played with my boy Jordan, the lefty, sharpshooter, Tony Kukoc.
Okay. I didn't realize he wasn't ever an all-star.
I mean, I feel like if you played in today's era, him and Lamar Odom are basically like the same player.
Right.
But I'm going that boy, Tony Kukoc.
Okay. That's
He
a
was
good,
a-
that's a good pick.
He's a sharpshooter, bro.
No, that is a good pick right there. Very good pick. Man.
All right,
It's
now
tough. I'm trying to go back in the day.
honestly, I have like 40 players on my list. I could list so many players that I love, just shout outs, but there's only a few players I truly love. So I'll start off the honorable mention real quick.
Yeah, you can go. I'm still kind of looking.
So for my honorable mention, just I don't know why I even like him that much, but I just feel like he's my boy. I gotta go with Boban, bro. Boban. He's so funny, bro. Him and Tobias Harris' relationship.
Right.
Like he's
Yeah,
just
they were best friends.
Boban's that man.
He is that dude.
As of lately, he kind of just became one of my favorite role players.
Yeah, I like Boban. I mean,
Like,
low key when he played like a couple years
balls
ago.
out.
Yeah, he does
shoot
ball out. He
threes.
doesn't do too bad. You
Yeah.
can give your other one too if you want. Since
All
you got a
right,
lot more than
then-
I do.
Yeah. My other one, man, there's so many Lakers I want to go with just because I'm a Lakers fan.
Right.
But I'm going to go with my boy who I feel like should be on a freaking roster. I don't know. He was on the Timberwolves last year maybe for a little bit. But another Duke boy. I got to go with Austin Rivers. He's so cold, bro.
Yeah.
He's just underrated. I just got to give an LA shout out to my boy Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
I remember watching Austin Rivers hit that game winner against North Carolina.
Right. I was thinking about him
epic.
too. No, I was thinking about him too. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm gonna go do that burst on the scene this year who should have been an all-star. Good year, just got switched, had to get away from Luka Doncic. Give me Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, he should have been an all-star.
Should have been an all-star. Anything about? I
Did him
think,
dirty.
and he's the best or second best player on Team USA maybe right now. He's the,
Definitely.
so he's got them boys ready to go. So I've got him. My last person. Hold on, let me just make sure. I don't think he ever was, but he is a big man still in the league. We haven't seen him in a while. He's an Aussie, not really Aussie, but from New Zealand. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was an all-rookie team, 2013-14. Played for 3 teams. Give me Steven Adams as my big man.
That's a great pick.
He's perfect.
He's the perfect center.
He is.
That's a great pick. That's another guy. I love Steven Adams.
I love Steven Adams. Everyone needs a Steven Adams on their team. He does the dirty
Perfect
work.
role player.
Perfect role player. He can. I mean, he's not going to shoot as well, but
Yeah.
he did have that one highlight where he chucks it across half court, and lets it go in.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So before we end this, I just want to, because I'm just going over, like I said, players that never made an All-Star.
Yeah.
And there are just some names on here that I wrote down.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way.
Yeah.
So I'll just go over and we can see your reaction.
Yeah.
So Jamal Crawford was never an All-Star.
Really? Damn, that would
I
have
feel
been
like he would
perfect.
have at least gotten one.
Right? That would have been a perfect pick for the team, too.
And then a player that's still playing right now, I'd say he's top 10 for shooting guard.
Yeah.
Never was an All-Star. CJ McCollum.
Really?
He's never been an All-Star.
Well, you think about it, he's always been behind
Damn.
Dame, and I guess that's
He plays
crazy,
in the
too.
West,
He
so
does,
it's
true.
tough.
That is tough. That's crazy.
And then a little throwback. Monte Ellis was never an All-Star.
Really? That was his, like, We Believe Warriors, too, wasn't it?
That him
He was
and,
that guy.
Who was it?
It wasn't Gilbert, was it?
No, it was Baron Davis.
Baron Davis, yep. I always get those two guys.
Yeah.
So
But
Baron
Monte
Davis.
Ellis was on that team.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Another one, Lou Williams.
Lou Williams.
Never was.
That's
I feel
crazy.
like he might have, that one year the Hawks went off, he's on that
Right,
team.
right.
And then this one really surprised me.
Uh-huh.
Jason Richardson.
Really?
Was
Jay
never an
Rich.
All-Star.
Never. That's crazy, dude.
I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Doesn't make any sense, dude.
That
Good
also-
players.
Tying this back into our GOAT debate, this just shows from like 2000 how much talent there is
Yeah,
now
so much
for
talent.
those players to never be an All-Star.
Right. That's exactly 100% true. A lot of talent that we said in these drafts, these are like more newer-ish players, and they just...
Some of them won't even be an All-Star.
No,
so the guys
never.
are playing right now.
Right. Right. So you want to go over your team? I go over mine. We wrap this baby up.
Yes, sir. All right, so I had Lonzo, J.J. Redick, Richard Jefferson, Lamar Odom, and Tony Kukoc.
All right. You want to give your honorable mentions to our 6th and 7th man?
Yep, my 6th man, Boban, and then my 7th man, Austin Rivers.
All right. And then my starting lineup, I got Jeremy Lin, Jordan Clarkson, Sean Livingston, P.J. Tucker, JaVale McGee. And then coming off my bench, I got Jalen Brunson and Steven Adams. I feel like we should throw this in like a 2K and watch this, dude. It'd be kind of interesting how to see how
This would
team
be
matches.
honestly more interesting than our all-time starting
I think it
five.
will be too. Seeing because we really built these teams to see how it would work.
So
Might
yeah,
have to do that tonight.
we'll have to throw that in.
Yeah,
Such a mid team.
Such a
It's all
mid
fan
team.
favorites.
Right, it is too. Everyone had like their little moments at whatever time when they played, dude. But yeah, all fan favorites. It'd be interesting. We should see how that runs out. But yeah, it kind of wraps up episode 7 then, bro.
Good ass episode, my brother.
Good ass episode. We'll be back. We recorded this podcast a little early, so I don't know when the next time we'll be back. Maybe we might have to do a different episode in between.
Yeah, in between.
So we may have episode 8 that'll be in between this one.
Yeah, before the NFL games actually even happen.
Right. So we'll think of something, but thank you guys for tuning in. This will be up on the podcast on Tuesday on YouTube as well. We record this early, so our first episode will be on there before that. But thank you guys for tuning in again.
Yes, sir. How's it going? Peace out.
Peace out.